2 lessons. We have done 2 lessons already for the last 2 weeks, every Saturday. And then I just want to do a quick recap what we have done so far since the beginning of this tutorial. First, what we did last time basically is we did the study or lesson of fine-tuning back our alphabets and our writing skill. That's number 1 that we did. And then we have touched on a few basic or a few techniques in sketching in terms of in terms of using tonality, the hardness of the pencil that we're going to use, as well as some different type of stroke that we normally do in our sketching. Okay, and then also we have gone through some. Hello.
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
No, that's fine. We just started. So hold on. Yeah. Umar, is it? Okay. No problem. We just started. So I just do a quick recap first what we have learned so far from the first week, from the first lesson that we did. We done our writing skill. We fine-tune our alphabets and then control skill of controlling the pencil, the pressure point, what we call it, pressure point, firm. You hold it firm, but you hold it in relax. You're not doing sketching. You're not going to do a good sketching if you hold your pencils too tight or too strong, right? And then we need to, be flexible and relax. Just relax our hand. And then we have touched also on the tonality techniques that we've done. And then we have touched also on the tone and then the direction of the light, where we learn about casting shadows, and then we learn about tonality of the object that we're going to do sketching. And then what we did last week, basically, we did, let me zoom it about, we did some simple sketching on how to use the initial form, which are ellipse, and then from that form we generate trees, and then sceneries. We have buildings, grass, bushes, as well as a mountain at the back. These are the things that we have learned for the past 2 lessons. I'm very happy. Basically, I'm not expecting we're going quite fast on this case or on this technique, but I'm very happy for everybody. It seems that everybody doing well in the sketching skill. Okay. Now, as for today, what we're going to learn, basically, we're going to learn things that we need to observe while doing sketching. In our syllabus, I'm putting this week as a composition, introduction to composition, of how we're going to compose things that we're going to sketch. Also, I'm going to introduce a bit on the perspective. Okay, so they're going to be, I'm going to write it down here. We're going to learn about how to compose. And then we learn about 1-point perspective. 1-point perspective. Okay. Now, normally, people will take piece of paper, A4, and they just sketch on it without without thinking ahead of how you're going to compose your items. Example of composition that we did, even though we don't learn, but what we did last week, basically, we did a composition last week on this drawing, on this sketching, where you can see that we draw most of our attention, we drawn into the middle of the paper, and the rest, what we consider as a support item or support elements, which at the side or is at the back of the things. So these are basic principles of sketching, whereby you need to focus on things that you're sketching and then you put in the middle of the paper, and the rest basically is just to support, to make it more nicer or make it more viable. Now, composition here, basically, when you learn composition, it's just like you using your mobile phone or your camera to take photos. So when you aim your camera to a certain place or certain element or certain things, you compose that those things going to be in the middle or at the side or where you want to put it in. So that's what we call composition. So in perspective, in doing this, basically, if you're using a small paper or A4 paper, let me zoom out. Okay. Okay, I zoom up a bit. Now, composition. Now, you want to sketch something. Normally, it's easy for you to take a photo. For example, I take one photo here. This one. To show to you how you're going to compose. For example, I have one photo size, this size. Regardless whether you take it from your camera or from your computer or from Google, from internet images, there should be one size that you will receive that as one side. For example, I take this one as one side. Now you can see that the composition of this picture, basically, you can see the elements is in the middle, and the rest become the background and the side elements. So how to do a composition? Composition, it will relate to horizontal line, and vertical line. Normally, we take this as a center horizontal and center vertical line. Okay, these two lines basically is acting to control your sketching, regardless whether you want to sketch something outside your house, outside the building, or inside, something's on your table, or whichever. Basically, you take these two lines as your control line. So you need to have a middle area that you can sketch on it. That's how you compose certain things. Now, once you go to advanced level, of course, you can do different type of composition. But as for today, basically, we just learn to centralize our composition in the middle of the paper. So by doing so, also when you do this composition, because this is only on A4 size, so you control that whichever image that you're going to sketch, basically, usually it will not go overboard or go over the paper. So you don't sketch something which is outside your paper. So you need to control yourself is within that. So for example, if you want to control the circle, it can be this side or it can be this side. But as long as within your paper, it's composed inside that. So at least you will not lose your tempo in doing sketching. People tend to get more, they tend to lose more interest when they try to sketch something. So suddenly those things, you don't have enough paper to draw on it. Okay, that's on the composition today. Second, once we compose these two lines, we call it central line. Now, I want to introduce, because today we're going to learn about perspective. What is perspective actually? Perspective, I write down perspective. What is perspective? Perspective here in sketching basically governed by 3 elements. Okay, first element is the horizontal line. Horizontal line externally will relate to land and sky. So things that divide between land and sky, we call it horizon or horizontal line. Or another names that we can call this line, we call it horizon line or eye level. Okay, at the moment, this eye level can change. Normally, the basic principle of eye level basically is at the horizon line. But the eye level later on, we keep changing in order to create certain elements inside the sketches. So this we learn while we're progressing. Okay. Perspective, there are a couple of type of perspective. There is what we call a 1-point perspective, 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and then we might have multiple point. But in sketching, normally people will use 1-point and 2-point. These are the most popular. Okay, 1-point and 2-point. Now, today I'm going to introduce to you on the 1-point perspective. So what is 1-point perspective then? 1-point perspective. Still, we're going to have horizontal line. Okay, you can take a piece of paper now. Okay, take a piece of paper. Do one horizontal line. See what I did here in the middle. Where is it? Oh, I cannot show to. I think because of my background. Hold on. Okay, sorry. So let me zoom a bit. Yeah, okay. So you have one horizontal line here. Yeah. Okay, 1-point perspective. You need to have in the middle, you have one vertical point. This is our control point for today. So we have one horizontal and one vertical. Okay. Can I see? Can you show it to me?
I'm nearly done mine. Give me a minute.
Okay. Okay, good. What about others? Farah?
I have mine.
Okay. Good.
I haven't really drawn my lines hard enough.
No, that's fine. Just a sketch, a vertical line and horizontal line. Now, you can see that this line intersects in the middle. There's one intersection in the middle, right? So here, the one in the middle, we're going to call it, today we're going to learn a 1-point perspective, which means that all our drawing will refer to 1 point, different. A 1 point. This 1 point basically it will relate to either horizontal or vertical line. Everything surrounding us, most of the elements surrounding us consists of vertical and horizontal line, if you can see, unless it's on the free form. Okay. Now, for a perspective, you have drawn one line in the middle and one line in the vertical line in the middle, right? So we have 1 point in the middle. So next, what I need you to do, basically, you can see we have divided this paper into 4 boxes. Yeah, 4 parts. 1, 2, 3. I'll put number 3 here and 4. Okay, 4 parts. So how 1-point perspective is going to look like? Okay, very simple. Now take one in the middle here. In the middle of this box number 1 and number 4, do one vertical line. Yeah. Same also between box 2 and box 3, one vertical line in the middle. Now you have divided the paper into 1, 2, 3, 4, more or less 4 equal columns or box. Okay. Everybody did that? Can I see?
I'm just drawing my last line.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. Good, Doctor, yeah. Everybody else, okay?
I'm here with my
Omar? Good, yes. Okay, good. What about Farah? Okay, good. Now, next stage, we've done just now 1, 2, 3 vertical line. Now, in the middle of box 1 and 2, yeah, this one and this one, we draw one horizontal line in the middle. Same what we did the rest before, but this time we do it as horizontal on box number 1 and 2, as well as number 3 and 4. Okay. So now we have how many boxes here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 16 boxes. Yeah. 16 boxes. We have vertical line and just using horizontal and vertical line. You can see this. This is composition that we are trying to do to control our area of sketching. At the same time, we are learning how to develop a one-point perspective. Okay, everybody is done, right? I believe. Next. Okay, good. Good, Omar, yeah. Kausar? Okay, good. Yes. Eliza? Okay. Yes.
For box 1 and 2, did you draw a line halfway between it?
Which one? On which box?
Box 1 and 2.
Box 1 and 2, yeah. So which means that box 1 now you have divided into 4 boxes. From 1 box become 4 boxes. Same also on box 2 become 4 boxes now. Yeah, 1.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Now you can see now we have 16 boxes. Okay. Now I want you to concentrate on this 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 boxes in the middle. Okay. We have 1 point in the middle. We call it 1 point here. And then we have 4 boxes. Now, what I need you to do basically is to darken this line. This line, you have to darken the one in the middle. What I did, I darken it. So it becomes like a rectangle. Okay. Got it? Everybody managed to do that or not? Very simple, yeah?
I'm just finishing mine.
Okay. You can show it here. Let me have a look. So, okay. Now, once you have darkened these 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we call the boundary of the box or rectangle. Okay, good. Now, good, Omar. Yes. Now, from the center line, from this point, basically, I want you to do a very light drawing, very light line from the center to each corner of the box. Now, very light. You don't have to press your pencil. Do a very light. This is what we call a guideline. So we combine this from the center point up to this point here, you can, you can extend it a bit outside. It's fine. Do the same also for this box. So you can do it slowly. You don't have to press your pencil, basically, and connect this line. From this side, box number 3 also, do a very light line, guideline. Also on this. Yeah. Okay. Good. So you can see, yeah. I zoom it a bit so that you can see. See, you have this line. So this one guideline and this one guideline here. So each of this line coming from the center and then connect to this part. Okay. Everybody done that, right? Done? Good. Good, Eliza. Yeah. So, okay, we go to the next step. Next step, basically, you can see that you have 4 boxes here, yeah? 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 boxes. Now, I want you to use a vertical line to divide these boxes into 2. Boxes number 1 and number 4. Put one line in the middle. Same also on this side, one line in the middle. More or less, yeah? You can do a very light line first as a guideline. Yeah? Now, next, basically, we have done this vertical line here and vertical line here. Next, what I need you to do, basically, is to connect. You can see that this line intersect your previous guideline here, somewhere here. So this intersection, you can connect to this intersection. Somebody try to call kucing. Okay, you connect from this point to this intersection point here. And then same also on this part, this point here, intersection point here, you connect to this intersection here. So now you have 1, 2, 3, which is, you create a smaller box. So you darken back this line, darken back this line, darken back this line, darken. So you can see now we have another smaller box inside the bigger box by just combining the intersection point. Okay, everybody did that? Good? Good, Eliza? Yes? What about the rest? Everybody okay or not? Eliza has done. We're going to continue to the next step now. Okay. Once you got this, basically, I want you to combine the tip of this box into this corner here. So darken this line here. You darken this line here. You darken this line here. And connect this line here. See? Now you have connected all this dot, all the corner of each box. Darken it. Now, next stage, next step. Once you've done this, basically, we're going to do a line. we're going to do a line here, maybe about 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, about 2 centimeter from this line, one vertical line. Yeah. Let me check. Okay, let me check first. About 1 centimeter here, 1 centimeter here, and one vertical line here. Yeah. Connect this and this one. No, this one you can continue up to your guideline here. Okay, this one you stop at this line here. So what you need to do basically to connect this, connect that, and then go up all the way up to here to this line. And okay. More. Your mom. Okay. Okay. Now I will do also on the other side, same. About 1 centimeter, 1 cm, 2 cm, about 2 centimeter here. From this line here, going up vertical and connect to this point here. Your guideline here, and then I darken back, so I connect this 3 point. 1, 2, 3 point. Okay, I will zoom out a bit. Okay, so you can see that now from here, from this point and this point, one horizontal line to connect these two. So it become like one like an rectangle arches basically. So I do hope everybody's done that. Can I see?
I'm not fully done, but this is how much I've done so far.
Okay. So you need to add, Kausar, you need to add this line here, right? This line here, up to that line here. This side also do the same. You can take about 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter from this line here and from this line here. And then do and connect all the intersection point. Okay, that's good, Liza. Okay. Now we are getting nearer now to understand how the principle of one point perspective works. Now, once we have done this, basically, okay, that's good, Omar. Yes. Now, in here, bear in your mind that the one in the center is always our horizontal line. This is going to be your control line, basically, the one in horizontal, and one in the middle as a vertical line. But this is bear in your mind that the horizontal line is the most important line on the sketches. So once you have done this, Now, next stage that we're going to do basically is everybody have an eraser? Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take an eraser. I'm going to erase a few lines. Yeah, I'm going to erase a few lines. One is the one in the middle here. This line, I'm going to erase it. I'm going to erase this, sorry. Erase this line. And then you maintain the line in the middle, but erasing the rest of the line. Okay. Next, you need to erase also this line here, the one in the middle, or your gut line basically. See, from here you need to erase it. Erase it. And also one we're going to start doing a shading technique later on to establish the shape of. So you need to erase this. The one in between the smaller box and the big box. Also the horizontal line. And this line here. Okay, you can see that I have erased some of the line, but I still leave this horizontal line in the middle. One in the side, one this side. So I have established this. Okay. Okay. Let me do a bit of explanation how the 1 point perspective works. Now there's a 1 point in the middle. This is what we call a 1 point perspective. It generates from this point. This point normally is sit on the horizontal line, which is in the middle. Now this become a drawing of like a small building or an arches, where we have opening on this side, the big opening, and opening at the back. It becomes like a tunnel now. We are developing, sketching a tunnel now, basically. Okay. Now, but make sure that from the center of the tunnel is where the perspective point, 1 point generate. So you can see all the line now from the 2D become going towards the 3D. But the 3D is governed by, is generated by the 1 point perspective, 1 point, this point, where you can see that in reality, for example, if you are standing in front of this, basically this line and this line normally is the same distance or the same height. But because of the perspective effect, it becomes shorter. So that's how perspective works. Now, it will become more clearer when we start doing the shading. Now, we still assume that our light is from this direction, 45 degrees. Yeah? 45 degrees. Now, which means that you can see now, later on we develop some, we put some windows on this side and on this side. But first, what we need to do is to do some shading to show how the perspective works. Now, first thing, in this, you can decide in terms of the angle of the shadow, angle of your sketch, for example. In order to establish, to make it more realistic, your shading should also follow going towards the center point. So now what I did now, my line, everything, when I do the sketching, I make sure that my line, the angle is always facing to the center point. First, it will follow this angle, and gradually you control your line to make sure that it's always pointing to this center point. So first, you can start the one in the middle first, because it will control, you have to control so that your sketch will not, your shading will not go to the outside your boundary. So this is, and once you go towards your boundary line here, you can concentrate a bit and then do a sketch line like that. And always point to the center. Make sure it's always, you can see that it's always pointing my direction of my stroke, basically towards the center point. Okay, that's number one. Okay, now, and then we do on this side also. You can rotate your paper to help you to make sure that you can, always point your line towards the center. Okay. You can mix also if you feel that it's difficult for you to, because this is, when you look at horizontal, this become a wall. So you can, after you finish this one in the middle, basically, yeah, you can do a vertical line also. To make it slightly darker. Yeah. Okay. Okay, can I see? Everybody done that? Yeah, that's nice, Kausar, yes. Same also on your upper part. Yeah. Your upper part. Always control your angle of shading to the center. Oh, nice, Omar. Yeah. Also, you can do the other part also. You can, you can control your tonality also on this. Make sure that the point in the middle is your control reference. I do a very light one here, and then you can do another one here. And this one, the one in the vertical, basically, the one that I'm doing now, you don't have, if you like, you don't have to do this angle also, it's no problem, but you need to do a vertical angle. Yeah, a vertical angle. But if you do this angle, so we will have a lot. You do like a cross hatch. Okay. Now you can see now. What I need you to do now on this side to make it more darker. So we can differentiate in terms of based on the angle of the light. So because the light is coming from this side, so which means that at the back here going to be darker because there's no light reach to this area. We will learn about type of light at the later stage of our lesson. But as for today, as long as we know the direction of light, which surface facing the light, then at least we know that whichever those area facing the light is going to be light, whichever at the back going to be darker. Now what I'm doing now, basically I'm making this area slightly darker than the rest of others. Okay, so on this part, okay. And this also darker at this corner here. Now what I'm doing now, I'm creating a space whereby, or tunnel whereby this part's going to be wall, This part going to be a wall. This is going to be the base. This is going to be the ceiling of the tunnel. Now, from the base of the tunnel, what we're going to do basically, we need to create some line as a texture or like a tiling. So what you can do basically from the center of the line, from the center of the point, as our reference point, you do one line here, and then maybe you take 1-2 centimeter here, and then go towards the center line, center point, sorry. And then also same here also, center point here, and then one here goes line here. So you darken the line. You see what I'm doing now? I did one guideline here towards the center point and then darken this line. Same also. Darken it, same direction. Divide it. So I have this line here. Now after this line, what you can do is to do horizontal line. Like that. See, I zoom it a bit. Hey, what happened?
Hello?
And then what about the sound?
Hello?
Okay, hello, can everybody hear me or not? I cannot zoom it.
Yes. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear.
Hold on. 1 second. Can I use this as a host? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry, I think there's something happened with the camera. Okay, we continue, right? Now, we've done this line. So you can see now I did one horizontal line here, one horizontal line here, and one horizontal line here. Yeah, just to differentiate this area. So this will become our base. This is going to be our base here. Now, what I did now, basically, I did a tile on the floor of this tunnel by controlling the line with the center point. What the center? I can zoom it a bit. I cannot zoom it here, Shazina. How to use this as a, can see? Because I can't see it basically. Okay. So you have to darken it, this area, and then this area, yeah? Now you can see now, this line is going to be your horizontal line. So this is going to be this wall here. Yeah. Now I want you all to do this to put a tone slight, a light tone on this element here, just to make it slightly solid compared to the rest. Yeah. You can do like a scribble here, just to make it a bit solid. Okay. Now, how to make it more realistic on this, basically. So since we know that we have one horizontal line in the middle, this horizontal line also now on these sketches, we're going to use it as our eye level line. Eye level line meaning that if you're going to draw like an object or like a people object, basically, usually I don't really draw people, so I just draw a shape like this. Okay, see what I did here. When I draw this, I make sure that this line coincide with the level of this. So if I darken this, for example, yeah, if I darken this guy here, you see? So you can see that this guy is in the middle of this, it's inside. Now, how to make it to show it more realistic? Somebody is outside here standing, for example. What you can do, draw a smaller one that makes sure the head is here, the eye level of this guy, but a bit smaller. Now you can see now it become more and more 3D. Same also, if you want to put another box, you use this control point here to this line control point here, right? You can generate a vertical line here, horizontal line here, horizontal, vertical, and use your perspective point to generate this line here, to control your line here, this line here, and then connect. Now you can have another box here, but make sure it's controlled by your line as well as your perspective point here. Okay. Now you can put other things also. For example, if you want to draw a straight line, if you want to convert it to a straight, you can use this like that. So this line become a road. See? Everybody, can I see it? Yeah, right? Okay. Then you can add other thing as well. You can create a line here also. Good, Liza, yes. Very nice. Nicely, you can create more here. Now, since you know that the light is coming from this direction, right? Coming down. So which means that you're going to have some shadow on this line here. A line here, 45 degree. You have 45-degree line here. So there's going to be a shadow on this side. So what you can do a couple of line here, couple of line here, couple of line here, couple of line here, and then horizontal line. Now you can add in some more at the back, maybe like a tree shape at the back. Go to this side, become bigger. Use this point as your control point. Okay, see this control point here, and then this is going to be a control point here. So you can create like a trees here. You can scribble it. Scribble tree. Also on this side. Yeah. And you can put also street light here. How you do a street light? Do one line vertical. Okay, then the other one on this side, basically use this point as your control point. The one in the point in the center. Do a guideline here. Guideline going to this corner of your tunnel here, and do another line at the back here. Vertical line. Meet this point here, and then do one traffic light here. So you can see that this traffic light is further distant. It's slightly nearer to you, and then going out, out, out. So that's how one point perspective create an illusion of distance between one object to the other objects. So whichever towards you, basically, you become bigger. Whichever further than you becomes smaller and smaller. But all the height, vertical height, being controlled by the point here, which is the one is on the horizon. And the one in the horizon also will become the horizontal line between land and sky. So you have this portion is going to be sky, this portion is going to be land. So from here you can add more, a lot of other things, other objects. You can draw a lot of other objects by controlling from this point here. So all your reference line, it will goes and meet here at the center. Goes and meet here center. So it control the shape of the trees also. You can see, control the shape of the tree, go here, angle. So the trees become bigger and smaller and smaller and smaller towards it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the first introduction today for 1 point perspective. I do hope everybody can do it. Can I see? Okay, that's good, Liza. Yes, it's nice. Omar, Khalfat, yeah, nice, good. What about Omar? Great. Everybody is good actually, yeah. So now you know the 1 point perspective is controlled by 1 point at the center. So, okay, as for lesson today, we take the paper is at the center point. This point can change. Basically, you can decide this point at angle here or here, but the effect is going to be different when you change this point, because the angle of your wall going to be different. If you take this point here, which means that you can see more of this wall. If you take on this side, it's going to be more, you can see more on this side. But if you take in the middle, we can see both are balanced. So that's how one perspective works. So in drawing, well, later on, when you want to do a sketching, when you want to do a drawing, basically scenery, or you want to draw an object, basically, you can choose, you can decide to use a 1 point perspective to make it more real, and it's a lot easier for you to put shadow in also. Yeah. Okay, what about Farah? Can I see yours? Good. That's good. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with everybody today. I believe that everybody have got some knowledge on doing 1 point perspective. Next week, we're going to go into more detail. We're going to study about 2 point perspective. And then after this, the next of other lesson, I'm going to introduce a project that we're going to do, which we combine with all this perspective, or with all the things that we are learning throughout the lesson. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for today. So I do hope keep sketching, keep practicing, and try to implement this method in your sketching. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye bye, Oma.